Oh, thank you. So I'm just happy to just do a basic welcome to you right now. We're going to have a lot to discuss as we go through this session, but I want to do a welcome and also to start us off with Sylvia James, who we will be hearing from to open this session. And I've known Sylvia James for quite a long time. She's been at NSF for 18 years, and she has worked in various positions throughout NSF, and we're just so delighted to have her here. So she has worked in programs. As when she was a program officer, she's worked in the informal science education, which is now AZEL. She's worked in iTest. In fact, she co-led iTest. And she was with the Advancing Technological Education program, as well as the Ascend program. She has served as the acting division director for the Division of Research on Learning. She also serves as the deputy division director for Research on Learning. She is the former division director for the Human Resources Division, and is now, I want to get her title correct. She is the EHR Deputy Assistant Director for EHR, and she is also co-leading the design team for the National Science Foundation Includes program. So she has just a wealth of experience and expertise at NSF, and and such a great colleague, and I'm happy to welcome her. Thank you.
Thank you, Arlene. Good afternoon, everyone. And it really is my pleasure to welcome you to NSF STEM Plus C PI Summit, where principal investigators and project staff, including practitioners, researchers, and evaluators are convening to share success, challenges, and lessons learned. I was talking to Arlene before the opening while you guys were eating lunch, and she was telling me about how passionate you all are about understanding the processes that are necessary to do exactly what the conference theme alludes to, that is the integration of computing with the STEM disciplines. So this, I understand, is the first STEM Plus C PI Research Summit. And this meeting is designed for deep work sessions to unpack the evidence that has resulted from your research. Indeed, this summit is a working meeting, which is always great, where you will learn about collective research findings and advances made by the STEM Plus C community as a whole. As such, we're looking to you, all of you, to help synthesize findings around emerging themes and to help us at NSF to identify new directions for STEM Plus C research. I would like to thank the organizers of this meeting and the NSF team, especially the hardworking program officers, for gathering everyone together and planning this meeting. And kudos to Arlene, because I'm sure she had many sleepless nights thinking about all of the great activities that we wanted to include in this meeting for you. I understand that there are about 250 attendees. I cannot underestimate the importance of your work for students, educators, and the nation. As everyone here knows, computing has become a critical piece of STEM practices, making it necessary for students to become exposed to the role of computation and computational thinking for creative problem solving in the real world. As spelled out in the Federal STEM Education Strategic Plan, which was released in December 2018, if you haven't taken a look at it, I encourage you to look at it on the OSTP website, Office of Science and Technology Policy. That plan says, and I quote, "In STEM education, as in other areas of our lives, computation and communication techniques are constantly evolving and creating challenges to the traditional when, where, and what of learning." And I'm sure you know this best as PIs in the STEM Plus C program. It is our common understanding that computational thinking involves more than the use of computers. To this end, STEM plus C supports research uncovering the nature of computational thinking itself and how it is used in STEM within and across disciplines. The STEM plus C program launched in 2015 in partnership with NSF's Computer and Information Science and Engineering, or SISE, Directorate. Since then, STEM plus C has expanded to include the integration of computing and computational thinking in STEM education. Additionally, it's expanded to include NSF's big ideas, namely harnessing the data revolution, convergent research, and future of work at the human technology frontier. And if you haven't done so, I would encourage you to look at on the NSF website at the pages for the big ideas. There's EHR representatives on all of the working groups associated with those big ideas, and they are all endeavoring to ensure that the STEM education research community can see themselves in the work of the big ideas, beyond the ones that obviously have connections to STEM education research, but all of them. So there is a constant production of solicitations, dear colleague letters, and other funding opportunities that we hope you'll take advantage of. Recently, artificial intelligence for K-12 emerged as a new emphasis area in STEM plus C. We know, as stated in the STEM education plan, today's science students are tomorrow's data analysts, artificial intelligence specialists, software developers, and cybersecurity experts. The program has funded more than 150 projects that incorporate different STEM disciplines, from environmental science to data visualizations. One project in particular, awarded to the Concord Consortium in Massachusetts, focuses on developing a pedagogical model for integrating geoscience practices with computational thinking. It uses computational visualizations to explain the scientific phenomena, such as volcanic and seismic geohazards. The visualizations also make predictions and assess impacts of these phenomena. Computer scientists and geoscientists are working together to define reasonable context that allows students to explore real-world problems using data, develop code to create visualizations, and interpret outputs of their simulations. In addition, this project supports the pedagogical needs of teachers, which is critical, engages learners, and prepares future computational thinkers by laying an early foundation. Many of the STEM plus C projects enable students to grow up with a solution-oriented mindset and give them the essential computational skills and competencies needed to succeed in STEM fields. In this increasingly data-driven world, students need to learn that computing is a part of everyday life. And Arlene and I were talking about this before I came up, from streaming services to smartphones. Using the tremendous amount of data available to us will be useful in daily activities and will be critical in addressing STEM problems. Likewise, it will allow us to build a workforce of scientists that is well-versed in problem solving across disciplines. With that, I want to reiterate the importance and impact of your work in integrating computational thinking into the sciences, from the early grades to high school and beyond formal educational settings. To meet the demand for future yet-to-be-imagined jobs, our nation will need students with strong computational skills to become tomorrow's pre-K through 12 educators and researchers. I hope that this summit will provide a space where you can share your work, think critically, and learn together to better understand the emerging trends and findings from your research. Thank you, and thank you for all that you do. Have a wonderful conference.